Exactly.
Welcome back to Jazzgrass Gaming, where we don't know how to record 40 episodes in, but right now we probably sound like butter.
Oh, mate.
Because...
Smooth as a baby buttock.
I thought I turned you off, and then you reset it yourself.
Alright, so don't mind that spike in audio. Basically,
we kind of fucked up.
What happened is, what happened is, we were at around this time. This was the way we record videos is multiple episodes per session, but one episode per week and one session per week. So what ends up happening is we have a lot of backlog videos.
Yeah.
What this also means is that the videos that we do put out were not recent. The particular case of this video was we had just gotten 2 mics and we were trying to get them to work. What ended up happening is that
we kind of fucked up.
The cable probably came in the mail damaged. That's what I think.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
And probably it because the thing is the audio phases in and out. By the way, the people at home will also hear this. So just so you know.
Really? Yeah, because of the desktop audio.
Yeah. I mean, you can turn it off in OBS actually. Just turn it off.
Audio.
Yeah. Because they don't need to hear it because there's nothing really to hear. It's more for us in case we say anything we want to repeat.
Yeah, exactly. In that case, I'll
actually you could just
put it up a little bit.
So basically, what ends up happening is that the audio phases in and out, and when it's in, it sounds quite, it sounds normal-ish.
Yeah.
But when it phases out, it sounds like you're listening to 2 Muppets next door having a fight.
Well,
domestic Muppet violence.
Living next to us, if we ever live together, or even when we are together, it's probably like living next to Muppets.
Oh, definitely. I feel bad for your neighbors. I hope they don't spend too much time on their attics.
No.
Have they ever complained about?
They've never complained about me.
Never.
I've never heard a complaint about my. What does sometimes happen is like when I'm sitting outside and smoking. Sometimes I hear a door close, but that's it. Because like it used to be that my neighbor, he used to smoke a lot of cigars and shit.
Yeah.
So like, and I, it's not like I smoke every fucking day in the garden and everything. So.
True.
Like they don't really make an issue out of it.
Because. Well, I gotta say, because I remember living in the same.
I'm not like my brother.
Like I've lived in this particular city before. Before I left the city again, but when I still did, I lived in the other neighborhood, like Duifkamp.
Oh fuck that! Yeah.
And I lived there, but the houses there, like I remember the house being surprisingly soundproof for like neighbor issues and stuff.
Yeah, true.
The only issues you would really have was the neighbor in his garden.
What does happen is when like my neighbor's grandkids are over and they're in the attic, like you do hear them play. Which is sometimes kind of annoying, but then I'm like, it doesn't happen every day.
I mean,
I don't care.
For me, it's different. I live in an apartment building, and I hear my neighbors. I got these Chinese neighbors, really sweet people. I think they don't talk to me. But they have a daughter, and the daughter has a boyfriend. It's perfectly fine because of course they're gonna be sexually active. It's perfectly normal. But their bed is placed against my wall. So
trying out this fucking
every other night at fucking 11 p.m. exact.
Yeah.
I can hear their bed swinging against the wall.
Well, at least they're
punctual. They're having sex.
At least they're punctual.
Yeah, I can time it. So when it's around 11.
Plan around it.
But lately they've started to come home earlier. I guess they start to come earlier, right? Yeah, but like I don't even care.
No.
Like because for me it's like alright, people have sex.
Yeah,
as long as I don't have to hear like, oh yes, oh baby,
oh yeah, give me that Chinese joke.
Oh yeah, give me that porn. It's like as long as not like that, I'm alright with it. But I also got some other neighbors who are baby boomers and they'll complain about everything. Like the guy smokes cigars on the balcony. I never complained about that. I lit one joint at 2:30 a.m. at night, and he complained. He's like, neighbor, I don't know what you're smoking over there, but it stinks. I'm like, alright, I'll put it out. And I don't smoke on the balcony anymore. But it's kind of like, but you're smoking these fat ass Cubans on your balcony. I can.
Ryan,
at one point it got so bad.
Take it back. Just be like, buurman, ik weet niet waar je die kabelsigaren vandaan haalt. Maar plug net op, man.
Well, I remember one time it was so bad I smelled it in the hallway.
Wow.
I walked out of my room to take a piss, and like the living room door was open and the back door and the balcony door, so that like the air could flow through my house.
Yeah.
But the air that flowed through my house
was cigar.
Yeah, it wasn't very much fresh air at all.
Huh. Because it is kind of interesting whenever I go to you. Like, it's not that I smell you from across the hallway, like the, how do you call it? Like, yeah, the gallery.
Yeah. Wait, you don't smell it there?
Not really.
Oh.
I never really smelled, like, unless you, like, get in front of your, like, window.
Yeah, I mean, well, fuck that. You shouldn't be hanging around my window anyway.
Remember that time?
I remember my Chinese neighbors used to do that until I started smoking weed.
Nice. Remember that? Nice. Remember that time that I...
We're always smoking in front of my window.
That was like,
so
hey,
weird.
dude, I'm gonna drop by, and you fell asleep, and I, like, just stood in front of your window.
Yeah.
I just stood there, like, what should I do with this situation? You know what? I'll just send him a picture so he feels safe.
You literally could have just woken me up, and I would have been like, all right, let's chill.
Nah, like
I don't care.
I don't mess with people's sleep.
No?
Nah, and I know that you have a busy life, especially back then.
Oh,
You
mate, back then I remember, like, because I'm pretty sure that was the summer when I worked like every day, almost. They like even though my 3 days they would call me and be like, Brian, we need you, and I would be okay.
But I don't need you.
Well, I know that,
actually,
like,
I do.
the thing is, they just go off their list to call people, and I was at the top of that list because I always said yes, because I always want money, and they know I want money.
Well, that's basically how it is.
So, but they were never really. That is, I gotta say, because that's what was really nice about it. They could call me, and I could say, no, I'm busy, and they would be like, okay, bye.
Yeah. If you're not working, then you don't have
like
to work.
because I've heard that some people, like, their boss can be pretty pushy about it.
Yeah. Also, like, if they really need it, they'll be pushy, and I understand it then. But yeah. But yeah, like, my neighbors never complain about me, and I'm not like my brother when he was younger. He used to throw parties and shit. I never threw parties. I hate throwing parties.
You know what?
I like going to parties, but I hate throwing them. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too much effort.
Exactly. Like when I have my birthday party, it's usually just a family gathering with like a barbecue that's set up by my mom. Because it's like I just don't feel like I don't like entertaining guests at all. I don't think that's fun. I think I don't like.
I hardly do anything. Like,
but
we may eat dinner and like my brother and sister and I'll show up, but that's it.
Yeah, that's basically yeah.
Yeah, like maybe
for me,
maybe some acquaintances of my mom, and then I'm like, hey guys.
You know what's real fucking great? Just being good friends with your in-laws. It's really great.
Yeah.
Because I get along well with my sister's boyfriend and his family. It's really great.
Let me tell you a little story.
Because my sisters had boyfriends who I
know
could not get along with, not because they were assholes, but because they were just such
idiots,
empty persons.
Yeah.
They were so empty. That's the thing.
Let me tell you a fun story.
Just like,
Brian.
oh, I want to be cool and that's it. I want to be a bad boy and that's it.
Let me tell you a fun story.
Fuck you, man. Get some aspirations.
Let me tell you a story. So this was when my brother and like back then it was his girlfriend, not his wife, and like I think I was like 16. Oh hey,
hey, face is back in.
Music popped back in. Right.
Music, well
the thing. But anyway, like I was like around 16, 17, and we went to the city.
Mm-hmm.
And we were standing at the bus stop, and there was this woman, and like right next to here we have a place for like mentally disabled people.
Yeah.
And like she was a little crazy. Not totally disabled, but she was a little crazy.
A little bit off.
Old lady.
Yeah, probably early onset of dementia.
Yeah. And so we were standing there, and that woman was like she was wearing a red coat, and she had her hands inside of the sleeves. So,
alright.
This lady, who's as talkative as she is, because she's a little crazy, she's like, oh, I don't know where my hands were, to my brother. And me and my sister-in-law were like, oh god, I don't want to deal with this. Like, my sister-in-law, because it's basically her work to deal with that, so she doesn't want to deal with that in her free time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But my brother, like he kind of went into it. And, like, at one point, she's like, so she just pops out her, like, hand. And my brother's like, well, now the monkey comes out of the sleeve. and she lost it. And, like, like me and my sister-in-law were just like, oh my god, no, we'll never get rid of her.
Yep.
And the whole bus ride, she kept on talking. But fun. The reason why I remembered this, yesterday I was walking Binky, and I was high as fuck.
Nice.
So I was walking back, and when I was walking towards the bus station, I saw an old lady like popping up on the street, and she was kind of looking around. She saw me and the dog, and she was waiting a bit. She walked a little slow.
Yeah.
Like when I came up to her, she says, "Oh, look at the sweet puppy! She's a sweet puppy." And I was like, for a second, like, does she know this dog? And then I was like, wait. Dick.
I mean,
that voice. It was the voice.
When I
like,
walk my
like
dog,
the moment when I heard that voice, and then she wanted to pet it a bit, but the dog wasn't really into it. But it kept chill. So I just kind of kept walking on. I was like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. She's such a cutie, I know, right? And then I was just like, well, I'm gonna go now and walk by. But she kept talking. But I just been like, nah, I'm just gonna walk on. I'll respond, but I'm not gonna look at her and just go on because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to go home.
Oh yeah,
I don't
because
have time.
that's the touch thing. We've talked about this last week as well. But
we like talking to each other, but we want to go.
Oh, I remember this part in the video. By the way, this is where we fuck up because I tell you to say no because I thought you were supposed to, or like you were supposed to say no, but we said yes. Like we both weren't paying enough attention.
How do you answer? Yes. I guess
he asked us if we were a cleric, and we weren't supposed to tell him we were a cleric.
Oh.
But we both weren't paying attention because we were talking about some stupid shit.
Oh, wait, fuck.
Yeah, and here we go. Oh, wait, shit, fuck.
Oopsie.
So the audio phases back in just in the right moment.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think it phases back in when it goes from a low volume to a
high volume.
To a higher volume indeed.
It's
Because
like a pickup range.
Yeah, when we suddenly go like, oh hey. You know, stuff like that. It picks it up in a higher volume and it picks it up in a peak. So I guess when it has a peak, I guess slightly more electricity goes through it and it's just
I don't know, man. Probably.
But yeah, so we ended up having to kill him. But we did get his crescent axe out of it. We never used it though because it's not my. It's like not. I don't like it that much. I don't think it's a very.
Yeah, it isn't great.
Although, like, at this point, by the way, that we're recording this, we aren't even playing Dark Souls anymore.
No, we're
currently just chilling out doing Euro Truck Sim.
Yeah. Like next recording.
Look forward to it.
Next recording we could play some Doom. I'll put it on some lower settings so it runs smooth, and that will be a lot of fun. Because I like that game. It's a high intensity game, and it's probably more of a game commentary game than a just talk along game.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely more of a let's play as game because a lot of our episodes are more like
just
we don't pay attention.
Yeah,
just kind of like chilling.
You can see us as like.
I mean, that's what Jazzgrass kind of is.
It's basically podcast with games around it.
Well, I mean, if that's our style, I don't see anything wrong with that.
No,
because I have a lot of fun doing it.
Because
also,
I don't like all that pressure that other YouTubers
love
put
this
on themselves. Yeah, man, I'm talking something, but like.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize you were talking. Sorry, I do that sometimes when I'm
high.
Yeah,
I know, Brian.
Sorry,
no, you don't just do that when you're high.
Really?
No.
Did I just not pay attention to my surroundings? Fuck me.
No. You're mildly autistic, Brian.
I'm not mildly autistic. Go fuck yourself, man.
I'm just kidding.
You know, my aunt calls my nephew mildly autistic, but I don't agree with that.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun place. Catacombs are fun. Oh shit.
What were you about to say?
Oh yeah, that YouTubers just pressure themselves into putting as much like har-hars in a minute. You wanna
yeah, like 10-minute videos, as much har-hars as you can get.
Yeah, the most har-hars.
That's not our style, man.
Yeah.
We don't even intend to make money off of this anyway, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, honestly, like, I think like I like improv. I like improv a lot. A good channel for that is Funhouse. They're great at improv. It's really funny.
Nice.
But what I don't like is when they put improv in movies.
Why not?
Well, so I saw parts of that new Ghostbusters movie because I was just interested in seeing how bad it was.
Do you mind if I grab your torch lighter?
I'm not sure if it works.
Oh, let me try it. Just in case if it works.
But what they do, like, basically they had a shitty script, and they were just like, you know what? Let's just get some comedian actors who know how to improv, and we'll just terribly direct them, and just.
But is this the controversial?
Yeah. No, it's controversial.
Because they have women in it or something, or like
that.
Well, like to me,
that's not even the issue. It's just a bad movie.
Well, to me, it was a really weird controversy because people were like, "You're just mad because it's women." It's like, wait, are we seriously doing this? Are we seriously going for the you're not allowed to hate it because women?
Well,
that's what I gathered from.
There was there was the two sides. There was like the side of people who were like, "Oh my God, they're putting women in the Ghostbusters. You shouldn't do that. Women can't do that." Those people,
that's bullshit.
And those people were fucking retarded.
Yeah,
and then there were the
stupid.
people who were just like, "Oh well, if you don't like it, that means you're sexist." And it's like, no.
There's so many good women good female comedians out there, as much as there are good male comedians. Yeah, sure, there are more male comedians in general because it used to be that comedians.
That's how it is.
Used to always be dudes because women were supposed to, because back in the day,
look, guessed women.
Look,
back in the
it
day,
wasn't
we
that
were
far
terrible.
away. When back in the day, women were basically just
appliances.
Yeah,
they were house appliances.
And
it sounds horrible,
so
but that's how it was back then.
I mean, of course, it's gonna take a while for women to get a lot into like STEM fields or comedians fields, like male-dominated fields, because we're still transitioning into this this progressive era.
Yeah,
like you can't go from one day being a household appliance to one day everybody being exactly equal. It doesn't work like that because
there's an adjustment period.
There is always an adjustment, and we're going the right way, I think. Except for America, they're going backwards, it seems.
Yeah, or like where I don't like it when they make it laws, when they're like you have to have a quotas. I don't like that.
Like that stupid ass anime I'm watching, A Centaur's Worries. Basically, the world where a thought police actually exists.
Oh yeah, but so you have to watch that dub now, right?
Oh fuck, mate! Let me tell you about.
Tell me about that because I don't really understand that.
Did you read my WhatsApp messages?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me tell you something. All right, so I downloaded it, right, and I do have subs for it, but the subs are very annoyingly done. Like, what they seem to have done is translate the text on, like, books and signs, but they didn't put it on the signs and books themselves. They put it, in between the subtitles themselves. So you have, like, Dear Mother, Diary, Today shit like that. And it's like, what? It's jarring. So I watched the dub, and the dub is even better than the sub.
Yeah?
And the anime I'm talking about is Cromarty High School. It's about a high school completely filled with delinquents. And there's one boy who went there hoping to fix that. Of course, the boy himself, like the plot itself, doesn't even matter. Because the show is so... It's like a show created... Like, Mate, there are no black people in this anime. It's all just Asian people. Except for except for Freddie Mercury. Yes, Freddie Mercury's in this anime, Dennis.
Wait,
don't worry about it.
How did they do that? Did they rise him from the dead or like?
I don't. No. He's just straight up a student there. Got the mustache, like the bare torso with the yellow
spendings. Yeah.
But let me tell you, there's no black people in this anime, but some delinquents still don't like this. I don't know how to do a black accent.
Hey man.
I'm not really good at accents.
Don't take it racistly.
But yeah, like the stereotypical black accent. It's when that happens.
Also, welcome to Brian's anime corner.
It is. Oh yeah, definitely. So, but it's like the dub is so good because they straight up like use such offensive words, right? They just
they use the faggot word. The F word.
They straight up say faggot. They're like, holy shit, he's a faggot.
That's what I really like about ghost stories because
it's not like they go like, holy shit, he's fat. It's more like somebody pushes out of something. I don't even remember the situation, but they just kind of stand there
like, he doesn't do it, what a faggot.
No, it's just like, what a faggot. That's how like, because a lot of the dialogue is like very like for example, he's in a park and one of the episodes I watched yesterday was an entire episode in which I guess like the entire episode was just them trying to figure out the name of a song they forgot.
Right.
And they would
put your like mic in front of you so we talking to each other while you're talking directly. It's a lot easier.
Hold on, let me just. Alright, sorry for all the noises you're hearing right now. Okay, so basically, right, we're not even looking at the screen anymore. Fuck
we're in the catacombs. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Look at us die.
The Giants, great, fucking. But
no light. Using pyromancy, very clever.
So like, an entire episode, right? The plot is that they forgot the name of a song, so they start humming it to one another, and then they can't. Nobody can remember the song. Everybody's humming this song to it. The whole school is just humming, and then it starts escalating, and then it ends with them like on a stage humming to a big ass crowd. Just this song of which they don't remember the name.
But don't they have SoundCloud or like SoundHound or however it's called?
I mean, this show came out in the 90s.
Really?
Something like that. It's not a recent show at all.
Oh, maybe that explains the dub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
because same with Ghost Stories,
like
man. Ghost Stories, you
10
really
minutes
have,
per episode. But
you really have to watch
Wait,
Ghost Stories.
I'm not done yet. Just yet. So the reason this is funny, because even like the humming, they could have just grabbed the Japanese dub for it and be done with it. But no, the voice actors dubbed the humming itself.
No, but that's funny.
And sometimes you could hear them desperately trying not to burst out in laughter.
Oh, that's beautiful. But that's the same with Ghost Stories.
But like at the end of the episode, he's sitting on a bench like, we still don't know the name of that song, yet I feel very accomplished today. And then he sees a delinquent from another class who also happens to be a robot, except he and his friend are the only ones that actually recognize him as a robot. Everybody else seems to just fucking think he's a person, which is the whole gag around him. But basically,
hello, human!
He sits on his bench and he sees him, and the robot is humming that song. And the guy goes like, wait, he must have been where this all came from. He must know what that song is. Probably. That's the dub. Like, he goes like, he must know what it is. Probably. So he just walks over and he's like, hey, that song. And they start humming it together, but then he's too embarrassed to admit that he doesn't know the name of the song, so they never find out. They just spent the whole evening humming that one song on the bench.
Gay.
I fucking love the show, man. It's great.
Man, it sounds great.
I'm so glad I started watching it. I'm so glad I accidentally happened upon the dub.
You should really watch Ghost Stories, man. You'll love it. You'll love it to hell.
I definitely should.
Man.
Heard many good things about it.
I remember there was this time in my life where I watched not a lot of Aqua Team Hunger Force, but just like Aqua Team Hunger Force. And like that's it's made by the same makers as like Rick and Morty, like same studios and shit, because Adult Swim. But I love that kind of humor that Adult Swim has, because it's very dry and it's very wacky, but it's still like they make these wacky shows that have no relatability at all because of the setting. Yeah. But for some reason they make it so relatable that it's just beautiful. Same with like Metalocalypse. Like it's a very unrelatable show to watch, because like you're not a heavy metal dude, but it's so funny because they perfectly use the stereotypes of a death metal band, like like of the musicians, like a stupid ass bass player who doesn't know how to play bass at all, like a drunk Irish drummer, and
fucking bass player,
and like Scandinavian like metal wizards.
Mate, man, fucking, like, I like Adult Swim. They create some interesting content. But yeah, man, I would definitely recommend you give it a shot. It's 10 minutes an episode, and it's really not in Japanese style. Well, kind of, but not really.
I don't mind what style it's animated.
Well, it's really fucking funny, dude. Because, like, I love those shows where because you don't really see that too much in cartoons, but you see it in anime quite a lot. No, this is...
No.
That. Oh, mate. Yesterday I had that too. I held my ashtray in my hand. I tried to put a tip out of my cigarette, and it bounced off the edge onto my shirt. This shirt I'm watching. This is the stain right here. This is it.
It doesn't.
It'll wash out, but still, it's kind of annoying. But like what they do in some cartoons, like some Japanese anime that are like comedy based. When there's a guy involved, like they usually have like a very normal situation, like it's just not interesting at all, but they animated it so that their faces are dead serious. I fucking love that. That completely dead serious, super manly ass face. It's just it's just a stupid situation that doesn't really need it at all.
But what I really
that gets me going. I love that.
What I really love about like when they dub animes, they have like this kind of creative freedom in it.
Yeah.
Like especially with these comedy, because I feel like the companies who do this, these people just have a lot of fun doing it, and are a lot of funny people. Because I bet like half of these people like probably do stand up in the weekend just for extra.
Oh, probably.
Because like that's a huge thing in like the acting scene and like the voice acting scene. Like a lot of people are like next to that are also just stand up comedians and like do these like other projects like beside that to make their name and like grow as an artist. And that's always really interesting to see inside that scene.
That reminds me of, for example, that other dub that I watched, the one before this, Mayo Chiki. That anime about the guy who's scared of women and gets a nosebleed if they touch him, but he's forced to become someone's
Brian,
whatever.
Brian, this sounds like every other single anime.
Yeah, you don't need a plot. It's stupid. But basically, the dub is really good.
Nice.
Because the dub is like they just make up their own script. Because eventually it's like it's got those memorable quotes, you know, like fucking, "Oh no, my brother is a Pandora's box of perversion."
He just keeps going.
Or like, "Oh yeah, well, you know what they say is, you know, fits like," or no, like someone puts on glasses and another girl goes like, "Whoa, it fits like Cinderella's glass slipper," and it's like, what? I fucking love it.
Like not even a heel or something. No, it's slipper. But like, it's funny like that. Like they just do this stupid
Throw it
little.
to the tip?
No, I didn't. I think it's almost dead. By the taste of it.
Yeah.
See, what are we?
But yeah,
how far
dubs can
even
be
are we?
pretty good.
Oh, we're pretty far.
But
in
the
the
dubbing
episode.
scene is like supposed to be surprisingly small.
Yeah, because it's always the same people. Like, whenever especially with big anime, like when I listen to a dub or like just hear like parts of a dub, I'm like, yeah, I know this voice.
Yeah, eventually you can kind of like figure it out. Like,
because
I've heard it
usually
before.
they use their same anime voice.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But like, because the voice acting scene, I don't think it's terribly big in the West. Not nearly as big as it is in the East, it seems, or in Japan itself.
I don't know. I couldn't tell because I can't really tell it apart. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's
kinda true.
the thing with any, like, no matter where you live, anything that's foreign for you, it's very hard to differentiate between
Like, there
two
are some
different.
like
in
of
the
course
same
there's
thing.
gonna be some voice actors that you can just hear like all, because for example the guy that does the main protagonist for the Monogatari series, the anime,
Yeah.
that guy's a very very recognizable voice. You can always hear him in other anime when
Yeah.
it's like him. It's like, oh yeah, I know this guy, and he's a very good one too. He's a very good voice
Nice.
actor. But but in general, like the women, for me, it's all just squeaky. To me, anime girl voices are all just
Yeah.
squeaky voices to me.
That's why I don't like watching any like female like heavy anime. Just annoying.
Yeah, I
I
guess
can't get past that.
It's just very because there's just too much squealy noises. That's why I like Daily Lives of High School Boys, because the women in that show sounded like what women would sound like.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah, still annoying, but
normal.
normal. And for me, it's just annoying because, you know, I'm a racist and I think Japanese women have annoying voices.
Racist. How do you dare to have an opinion about something that's
True.
foreign to you?
That's also a very controversial thing
Yeah.
these days, to have preferences.
Yeah, you can't have preferences.
I remember
anymore.
dating a girl who told me that she wouldn't like to date. She couldn't. She just didn't find black people attractive at all.
There's nothing
It's like,
wrong
really?
with that.
It's like, all right, well, that's your preference. Like, I bet if she finds a certain person who's black but also happens to fit in her criteria of attractiveness, that whole that whole opinion comes crumbling down. But
Of
still,
course.
like it's not like they won't date black people. It's just that they don't necessarily find them attractive.
Yeah, it's not what they go for.
Like or like saying, like, for example, for me, it's like, if you're above a certain threshold of being of weight, I don't want to date you.
Yeah.
Flat out, because I cannot be physically attracted to you, and I feel that's very important in a relationship.
Yeah. I understand.
Because if you look at your wife and your first thought is to like, fuck me, she's ugly and fat,
yeah.
instead of, wow, I have such an amazing wife.
Seinfeld, like in one of the Seinfeld episodes, he has like that stand-up bit what he does, and he says it perfectly. Like in the first date, it's excruciating because you're looking at each other and you're just like, the whole date, you're thinking like, can I live the rest of my life looking at this? It's like, that eyebrow, like I'm alright with it now, but will I still be alright with it 30 years down the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really funny to me. Like, but like, people are like prejudiced.
I gotta say, though, I'm quite like I guess I'm not sure if liberal is the right word, but I give a little bit more leeway than most men when it comes down to the fat that I will allow. You know, for me it's more like if you're starting to go towards spherical, then you're out. If you
when I need to use pi to figure out your circumference, it's not alright.
Like that's I don't know. For me, it's just I give a little bit more leeway than most men. I guess you could say low standards, but for me, it's just like no. I just have a different idea of what is attractive.
Exactly. Everybody has, and everybody has their own ideas and things about it. And
but these days, it's interesting because these days the media has put everybody against each other, right?
Yeah.
So having any kind of opinion will get you attacked.
Of course.
So, and we're going to get attacked for this video, and we're gonna get attacked for many of our videos because we have very
opinions.
We are very opinionated. We are very open about our opinions.
Because we don't care.
But the media has made it so in such a way that they created this atmosphere of
toxicity.
having surrounding everything like related to opinions, anything related to social issues. Like there's almost a stigma around it. You can't even properly discuss it anymore because you'll get attacked for it.
Like,
and I feel that's just pathetic.
Remember, look, I don't agree with anything John Tron said, but there was one thing he said that was like, you know what, John Tron, you're an idiot and you didn't formulate anything that you said. But the one thing you did said that I agree with is that it's very hard to get a open conversation about any problem or topic that has to deal with race, gender, or anything. Politics. Like there is no space for people to openly discuss that without being attacked for what they think.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I feel that if you're a total idiot and you're gonna say racist things that don't make any sense, then don't.
I watched the stream, right? I watched that stream.
I've seen parts of it, and it
was difficult to get through for me for the cringe because all the things that Jonathan said, like,
it's so easily debunked.
Yeah, and the things he said were literally just kind of anecdotal evidence, but that sounds like that's not how a discussion. You can't come with anecdotes. You have to come with actual grounded statements that have some backing behind it.
The same with
you can't just say like, oh, it's more black people than white people that do crimes. It's like no. That's not. First of all, that's not even relevant. Right? That's not even fucking relevant at all.
Nobody likes a statistic at a party.
Alright, first of all, and second of all, that statistic is probably going to be very wrong because it's so ridiculously diverse around all areas, and then he just kept digging his own grave with more stupid arguments. It's like, oh man,
and like even the things that he did say, like black on black crime and stuff like. But that isn't because they're black. That's because they fucked up the entire system from the foundation when they. Like went with like the civil rights movement. Like they kind of just fucked it up. Like they still like that whole like anti-black within the police. It's still a thing. Like,
definitely. But
like this systematically like stigmatizing of like people of lower income. Like it isn't even a racist thing. In the beginning, it's more of a like status thing. Like
I was reading a thread on Reddit, right?
Like how rich you are. That's the whole thing.
This is just an anecdote. So you can just kind of ignore it if you will, but. But I was reading this Reddit thread. It was this guy who was like, he came from America and he went to Germany. And in Germany, you have this in the Netherlands as well. We have a very low price culture. It doesn't matter how rich you are. If that store is 50 cents cheaper than that store, then you're gonna go to the cheap store.
Yeah.
Apparently, in America, this is completely different. Mm-hmm. And in America, only poor people use public transport. Yeah. Other people will just tend to use things like a taxi and stuff, and it's to me.
Uber
but I guess,
or anything.
But I guess it's also probably because I believe cars are quite a lot cheaper in America than they are in the Netherlands.
Yeah, they are because they still have a large production base in America that produces cars, especially Ford and like General Motors is like a huge like thing of that. Of course, like you don't hardly see as many Toyotas or anything in America.
To get back to the conversation, I found that to be interesting because because if that's the case, then it makes sense that you would see exclusively poor people and exclusively poor hoods.
Yeah.
Because Here in the Netherlands, we don't really. Do we have any particular neighbors that you would say that's where only poor people live?
Well, we do have achterstandswijken, hoe noem je dat? Like,
oh yeah.
We do have like places where like just the general economic wealth and like just like education and like people are taking care of it like socially.
Yeah,
like, through a system where it's really fucked up and like where a lot of like crime does happen. Like of course every country has their hoods.
Oh, I remember this bit. This is actually a funny bit.
Let's see if
so we
get
the Sanctus, right? We kill this guy. Because I just so happened to remember to put on humanity. And what happens is we start looking at the descriptions.
Yeah.
And eventually it's gotta get real juicy.
We've been building up to this the whole episode basically by taking on hard topics. So this won't be as bad.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to say it out loud, but yeah. You're like, starts out with the dark sword. It's wide and thick, and it's wielded in an unusual manner. And it's wielded by dark. Like it is so fucking funny.
The innuendos in this game, it's like
fuck, dude. So you're basically just
news.
Like, I believe like the fucking shield, like we lost it at the shield because it said something suggestively like fucked up.
Let's see if we can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear us laugh at some point. Yeah.
White power.
That's basically like because I mispronounced it. I said "way of the white."
Yeah.
And that's why you started laughing at it. That's when it clicked for me as well. It's real fucking funny. But yeah, we killed the guy with the Sanctus. I think he's called Grant.
I don't know, man. I don't care.
You know what the thing? Did I tell you this? I dropped Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Because I felt insulted by it. I'm not gonna go further into that than that. All you need to know is I felt personally offended by the game.
I love you, Brian, because you're able to do something that I almost can't do. Get offended by inanimate objects that I'm just like, alright, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
No. Like
if it's playing me, then like I don't care. If you're not gonna be a good game, I'm gonna be offended by it. I don't care.
Well, to me it was just like I came from Dark Souls 1.
Yeah,
Great game. I fucked a little bit of Dark Souls 2. Looks to be also a very stylistic game.
Yeah.
And then you get to Dark Souls 3 and it looks like literally every other modern fucking game. It looks so disgustingly mediocre. Everything is grey.
Oh yeah.
Everything. And it's like, oh, but it fits the setting. No, it fucking idiot. Look at Dark Souls 1. Even though it was a grim setting, everything still had realistic colors. It was vibrant, it was clear cut colors. But fucking modern games don't like colors because that's not realistic. So everything has to be either dark.
This is where legendary weapon of the Way of the White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. This massive iron can only live by those of you inhumane stand, but is blessed and very effective against agents of dark.
Oh god,
that's a whole like.
That's how we were both like, whoa.
Whole KKK Black Panthers thing going on right
definitely.
there.
It's a little. Oof.
And that was the episode.
That's the episode. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this. This very controversial episode. I bet it's gonna.
Oh man,
it is gonna come back to bite us in the ass.
But this is a little sweet treat, so you can see that we finally did understand how to use 2 microphones.
Hell yeah, dude! We got 2 microphones.
Oh yeah, baby. Bye.